Welcome back to Camp Cookout Adventures. Join me for a night as we return to Fernworthy Forest and Reservoir for a night's camp. We've got posh tents we're going to be testing out in some pretty nasty conditions. So let's do this. Welcome back to Camp Cookout Adventures. We've returned to Fernworthy Forest and Reservoir in pretty nasty conditions. It's just past summer, so the beginning of autumn. The weather is right on the turn, and as you can see behind me, got a pretty beautiful double rainbow going on there. I've got my good friend Dan with me this trip. We're going to have a mooch around the woods and see if we can find a nice camping spot and test out some proper posh tents we've got. So tonight I've got packed the Vern one, which is a single person backpacking tent, and I believe Daniel here has got a
Hilleberg Soulo.
Ooh, a Hilleberg Soulo. Mr. Big Bucks with the deep pockets has been splashing his cash. So yeah, we've got posh tents tonight, everybody. Hopefully that's going to protect us from these ever-changing weather situation we've got. That is just lovely. Look at that. I'm sure that there was a YouTube channel with a guy who just posted double rainbows.
He probably found all the pots of gold and didn't need to do it anymore.
Actually, I think he died, mate.
Oh. Leprechauns got him, did they?
Well, I am glad to be back outside once again on some little camping adventures and bringing you guys along with me. I have had a couple of outings during this summer where I've taken my daughter out a few times, but you know what, I just couldn't be bothered to bring the camera. I had big plans as always for this year, doing loads and loads of adventures and making loads and loads of videos, but you know what, cost of living this year is absolutely walloped me. As a family, with me being the main breadwinner, unfortunately it's meant that you just have to work all the time. Bills have gone absolutely astronomically through the ceiling. Everything's costing me a hell of a lot more than it did last year, and I haven't had the time away from work or the financial freedom to really be able to get out and enjoy a night's camp, which is pretty ridiculous really, because camping is one of those activities, once you have the gear, it doesn't cost you a huge amount. But there we go, that's me whinging and whining over. We're bringing out some fancy gear tonight. We've got some really high-end tents that we're going to be trying out in this turbulent, ever-changing weather. Right now, 10 minutes ago, I did the intro to the video where we were getting blasted. I had to put my rainproof poncho on, and right now it's like it never rained at all. Have a look over the lovely reservoir. Reacquaint yourself with that handsome view. Mission statement tonight is just have a nice leisurely walk through the forest and out onto the moor, see if we can find ourselves a relatively flat spot to set up our posh fancy camps with our posh tents. We've been walking from Fernworthy Dam on the reservoir where the car park is, right the way around the reservoir itself, and now we're headed south through the forest in the hopes to reach the South Moor on the other side. We actually had a couple of park rangers come skidding up behind us in their little Berlingo white van to approach us to double check whether we were wild camping tonight and if we knew the rules of the local area. No camping within the forest, only in the permissible zones, which of course we did and confirmed. They didn't give us any trouble, they were perfectly nice. But we've reached the ancient settlement here in the middle of Fernworthy Forest, and me and Dan were just starting a little conversation about the romantic idea of how nice it is to just live a subsistent lifestyle in the middle of the woods, foraging, gathering your timber for your heat source and all the rest of that kind of stuff. Just real basic primitive living, and it is a wonderful idea. And we both watch quite a few of these outdoor channels and survivalist channels and all that kind of stuff, and it's all very well and good, but until you're actually out here in the environment, you very quickly realize in the 21st century you don't stand a hope in hell. You can watch as many survivalist channels as you like. There is no wildlife for you to go hunting and trapping. There's bugger all rabbits about, there's bugger all deer about, there's bugger all berries about. You don't know which ones are actually poison and which ones are good. And you see how many blackberries, how many kilos of blackberries yield how many calories compared to how many you'd actually eat in a day. So we went up through Plymouth today, popped in to go outdoors, and I've got the smallest and lightest stove setup you could possibly imagine.
That's an understatement.
It is an MSR pocket rocket and it's tiny. I'm not bothering with cooking a great meal out here on Dartmoor today. I've already got a stew which I cooked up last night, vacuum sealed in my pack, so I simply need to just heat it up through. I've got one bowl, this one tiny little stove to warm it through and maybe boil the kettle later for a cup of coffee. But to be honest, this is what 99% of hikers will probably use, the jet boil systems or the little pocket rocket stoves with a little butane canister. It's tiny, it's super lightweight, and you can see why they do it. We've been a bit of an anomaly on the Camp Cookout Adventures channel by bringing great big stoves with loads of raw ingredients and cooking up indulgent meals in the middle of the wildest of landscapes. But as I said, tonight my energy levels are just, they've absolutely smashed through the basement like the Turn Down for What Lil Jon music video, one of the greatest music videos of all time if you've not seen it. But we actually, because we went through Plymouth today, I also ticked off another little bucket list item, which was trying Popeye's chicken. I have wanted to try Popeye's chicken ever since I saw Little Nicky back in the early 2000s, and I can confirm Popeye's chicken's f***ing awesome. We are at the edge of the forest now, Fernworthy, about to head out onto the South Moor where we'll find somewhere to camp tonight. I've just darted in amongst the trees to have a little cheeky wee before we go out there. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit creepy. We've got a few of those Blair Witch-esque kind of like timber structures here and there and everywhere. But what caught my eye was all of the wool everywhere. Something's been getting them sheeps, and what's even creepier is there is, yes, a definite sheep skull right there. So some unfortunate sheep has been dragged through these here creepy woods, lost his life, and become dinner for something. It actually stinks around here. It smells like rotten flesh. It's not particularly pleasant. Yeah, look at that. We've got a leg bone there, a skull over there. There's wool absolutely everywhere. So something has been attacking, another bone. Something has been attacking them sheepies. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Look, this is actually the main carcass here. Oh, it is stinking. There's the jaw bones. Poor little fluffy thing. Creepy. Yeah, we leave the great green wall of Fernworthy Forest behind us now. We won't see that again till tomorrow, when a new day has arisen. And now we've just got this great big outstretch of the plains of the South Moor. We need to find somewhere around, away from the wildlife, on the flat, relatively sheltered, to set up tonight's camp. It's a bit like follow your gut. Where do you feel like it's going to be a good area? Maybe up, maybe down? Let's find out. We finally found a spot south side of Fernworthy Forest. It's got a nice level patch of relatively short grass, which is good. We've traipsed over some really long stuff, and anywhere else that's flat after all the rain we've had this month is just complete bog. So it's actually taken us quite a minute or two to find this little spot, but I reckon that this is going to be camp tonight. You know what that means? It's time to set up the oh so very posh tent, isn't it, Daniel?
I think so.
So like I said at the start of the video, I've got the Vern 1 tonight, solo backpacking tent. Price range of around 500 quid.
Is that what you're telling your wife it cost to take it?
It did cost that.
Ah, fair.
My nose won't be growing, I'm telling no lies. And then Daniel here has got the
Hilleberg Soulo black label version.
oh, very, very
I know.
prestigious.
We won't tell my missus what that costs.
Well, let's hope we all get a real good night's sleep today, eh?
It better.
Get what we pay for, indeed. So yes, let's get this stuff set up. The sunset going on behind us as well should give us a pretty picturesque view, I reckon. But I think that sunrise will be even better, provided the sky is clear. Well, there we are, we've got our 2 tents set up. Knowing you guys, probably having checked out hundreds of camping videos, if you're watching mine in particular, you would be very familiar with the Nortent Vern 1 and also the Hilly Soulo. They are pretty much like the top of the range and mid-range, very, very popular tents. So I don't think that there's any point in me wasting too much of your time explaining anything about it. I've already got videos on my channel about this tent already, so there's no point giving you too much of a tour. There's really not that much to see. But they are excellent performance tents, proper 4-season ones. They'll keep you safe and sound in all weather conditions, especially for the UK. Dartmoor is actually susceptible to some pretty nasty conditions, so you do need to make sure that you pack the right gear for coming up here. Time to get the sleeping systems all set up, and then I reckon get the Pocket Rocket MSR stove boiling up some water for a well-deserved cup of coffee. Let's do this. Can't come soon enough, I can't feel my fingers. Oh, barracuda. Oh, we're all set up and comfy cozy out on the old moor. Sun's gone down, temperature's just plummeted as it always does. Everything's getting very damp, you know. Trudging across those fields, the grass is absolutely saturated. It has had a few downpours today. It's pretty squidgy under your feet. These Berghaus lightweight hiking boots have been absolutely brilliant. I've had them for about 1.5 years. I wear them every day for work. They've taken an absolute beating. The sole of them underneath has worn down quite a bit, but they are still waterproof after all this time. So they've been absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I am desperate for a cup of coffee now that we've got all settled with our tent and everything. So let's just have a little gange at today's mini purchase, and it truly is mini. This here, believe it or not, that tiny little thing right there is a camping stove. It is the MSR Pocket Rocket, and look, that's it. That's it. Like I said, I cannot be bothered carrying 1 million heavy things across the moor today. I've simply not got the energy or the patience for it. So this is, to be fair, what most backpackers use across the moors. Just a super simple thing to heat up water or any of their dried rehydrated foods that they use just to keep weight, pack weight down. So let's see if we can suss this thing out. MSR is just beautiful quality stuff. I have the Dragonfly stove, and it is a real great bit of kit. There we are, that's all there is to that. Purchased a little isobutane fuel canister for it, and click that off. By the looks of things it's threaded, so I believe we just screw the stove to the top of the bang. I could be wrong. I'll make sure that that's closed off, which it wasn't. I'll do that. Let's see if we can get that on there. I'm going to cross thread the thing, that would be gutting, wouldn't it? Oh Jesus. Okay, here we go, there's that. God, that came out there super cold. Did I do that right? I don't know. Is that normal, folks? A lot of you experienced campers may be shouting at me right now going, "You idiot, you're not supposed to do that." I don't know, I should have read the instructions. Oh. Wow. What a beauty. Pocket rocket indeed. That thing's vicious. Okay, well, let's get a cup of coffee on the go, shall we? Make sure that that's on the flat. There. Well, I'll be. Bearing in mind this is an open pan lid. It has not got a top like a kettle or anything, so it wasted an awful lot of heat here, there and everywhere. But I'd say that that thing got that water boiling in under 2 minutes. It's pretty dang impressive, really. Obviously you could get a proper lidded kettle or a little litre pot for the top of these stoves, which gets the best of the heat usage out of it. I didn't bother with that. I just brought one of the little pans which I already had. Anyway, I'm not going to waste any time waiting for this coffee to get cool. Cheers, everybody. All right there, Dan.
Look at that.
So what have you got set up here tonight?
Wow. You very kindly purchased me the 27 cook set. And I really like cooking with this set.
Yeah.
To me, it's just perfect. It's got everything I need in it.
Yeah, as do I, yeah.
And I don't want like 20 stoves and 30 cook sets, and I just want as much.
Why not?
I don't know. But I gotta hide.
Not got the room.
I gotta hide it from the wife, you see.
Yeah, sure.
And I was reading about. I wanted to be able to cook in the tent actually when we do, because we've talked about doing some outdoor stuff anyway. Yeah, it turns out as well as the alcohol burner, they also do this neat little gas stove attachment, and it just plonks it. We spoiled the kettle already, look.
Yeah.
You plonk it in, set fire to it, the controls away from the kettle.
It's fantastic.
What
it's
more
absolutely
do you want
brilliant.
than that? And I can still use all of my Trangia stuff. Oh, and the alcohol burner still fits inside the kettle, which I thought was a nice touch as well. So you can bring it all with you.
So well thought out and designed. All this Trangia stuff is so cool.
So clever.
Where did you get this today? That was another thing I was going to ask you.
This came from a rather brilliant little shop in, I want to say, Princetown.
Princetown, that's right.
This name escapes me. Not the bunker, the
base camp.
Base camp.
We, of course, having driven through Dartmoor today up from Plymouth, we went through Princetown and could not resist a quick cheeky look around that fantastic shop, which is Base Camp, which everybody who camps on Dartmoor will no doubt know.
They were really, really nice too, actually. They were
really nice
pleasant,
people.
very helpful.
Fantastic selection of pretty high-end stuff. Really good quality.
Oh yeah, back in the old days, you used to have to put the smut on a high shelf. They filled a whole shop with like the most camping porn. You
Absolute filth. Yeah, that's right. Luckily, I managed to escape there without spending any dosh. But yeah, luckily we got this Trangia gas attachment for the cook set today. So we're all rocking slightly new gear as we like to do.
Yeah, I love it.
Boys' toys, isn't it, mate?
Definitely.
Well, we've had a lovely evening. Just popped outside the tent. Temperatures dropped right the way down. The sky is completely clear. Beautiful show of stars tonight. And way across, right above the horizon, as blood orange as you like, is a perfect half moon. It's a really, really picturesque, pretty night. Unfortunately, none of my cameras are going to pick any of that up. The little iPhone and a GoPro, it simply doesn't have the zoom capabilities to actually show you guys, unfortunately. But it's a very beautiful night. Fingers crossed we're not going to get any wind or rain, and that's going to equal a really peaceful night's sleep next to the forest. Nothing left for me to say apart from good night, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning. Not the best night's sleep last night, not the worst. I was mainly kept up by the random noises from the forest and the horses walking by, trudging their feet and whinnying and all the rest of it. But I did manage to get a good few hours from about 3 o'clock till now, 8:30. The old Dartmoor mist has settled in once again. I don't think that we've had much of a sunrise today, by the looks of things. Look at that, look. I Didn't even touch me stew yesterday. Still not hungry. What I am desperate for is a cup of coffee. So I'm going to get that kettle on and whip up a brew. I'll tell you what I really do like about this setup, which is a bit of a game changer, is the fact that you can sit in the entrance of your tent in the shelter and in the comfort and whip up a brew. Hey Daniel, how did you sleep last night?
Oh mate, it was alright actually. It was alright. It got a bit cold in the middle, I think, didn't it?
Didn't it just, eh?
What was with that horse? I'm sure there was a horse outside at one point.
There certainly was. There were a couple of them at least trotting around.
But yeah, otherwise, yeah, it was nice.
How'd you rate the new
tent? Was great.
I was about to say, how'd you rate the new tent?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I like the fact you can sit in the entrance of this one and just, you know, cook out the door and the stuff, you know? Couldn't do that in the old crawl-in tent, could you?
That's right, yeah, no, that's a fantastic feature. All packed up and ready to go. You can guess what I'm going to say right now, can't you? We have left no trace. Here is the lack of evidence that we were ever here. Do you see? Not even a sheep's poo out of place. Somewhat a little bit more squished than it was before, admittedly, but look, no litter, no nothing. So you can just chill out in the comments. We always practice a leave no trace policy when we're out here wild camping on beautiful Dartmoor. The wind's getting up out here on the plains. I think once again we're going to head back into the woods, find a little bit of shelter. It could be misty and mysterious today. It'll be quite the ambiance, let me tell you. And make our way slowly back towards the reservoir. Check it out. We're gonna get all survivalist here on the Camp Cookout Adventures channel, as we have found evidence of deer tracks. See that? A deer has definitely been through here. Shame we've got no way of catching it, and it's also illegal to hunt them, so this is completely pointless. This is for you, Chi-Chi. Check this one out. We got a pink digger. Not seen one of those before. She would absolutely love that. Painted pink for breast cancer awareness. Here we go. They're resurfacing a lot of the paths through Fernworthy Forest at the moment. Surface has been scraped off, and they're going to put down gravel once again and compact it. We passed a roller yesterday, so lots of work's going on in here. We've got a flurry of uprooted trees. They've gone right across the path there. We have to weave our way around these big buggers. And loads of them. We've made it back to the car. Car's in impeccable shape. Nobody's vandalized anything, which is always a relief, that's to say the least. We are going to go off past Plymouth over the moor and go to a little diner, I reckon, get some breakfast. Not going to do any cooking on this camping trip, going to buy it all. Feel like a right sellout. Should we do it?
I think it's got to be done.
I'm just going to get some breakfast. Brightside Diner, you beauty. Time for some breakfast. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Camp Cookout Adventures. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.